Once upon a time, out of all good days of the year, on Christmas Eve, old Ebenezer Scrooge, member of the accounting firm of Scrooge, Marley and Company, sat busy within the office of his counting house. It was cold, bleak, biting weather, and he could hear the people in the courtyard outside go wheezing up and down, wringing their hands and stomping their feet on the pavement to keep warm. The city clock had gone 3 in the afternoon, but it was already dark outside, and the candles in the adjoining offices were like ruddy smears upon the brown air. The door to Scrooge's office was open that he might keep an eye on his shivering yet faithful clerk, Bob Cratchit, who in a cold, dismal cell below was copying letters. Bob Cratchit arose and approached Mr. Scrooge in the hope of acquiring 1 lump of coal to keep warm.
Well, out with it. What are you standing there for?
Well, sir, our fire's almost out, and I thought another little bit of coal would keep it
Nonsense! Haven't I told you I won't have you burning my coal up like tinder?
Yes, sir.
Well, why don't you get back to your work?
Well, sir, tomorrow is Christmas, and I was just
Yes,
wondering.
I know. You were wondering if you could have all day off, I suppose.
It's like convenient, sir.
It's not convenient, and it's not fair. If I was to stop a half-crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'll be bound.
Yes, sir.
Christmas. Bah. Nothing but a poor excuse to pick a man's pocket every December 25th. My old partner Marley agreed well with me. He thought it a lot of humbug, too. And you, a clerk with 15 shillings a week and a wife and family, talking about a Merry Christmas. Bah.
May I have tomorrow off, sir?
No, I suppose you must.
Thank you, sir.
Be here all the early the next morning.
Yes, sir.
Who's that, Cratchit?
A man, sir. Did I know who he is? Merry Christmas.
Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years. Since you ask, he died 7 years ago this very night.
You don't know me.
Nor do I wish to.
I have no doubt that Mr. Marley's liberality is well represented by his surviving partner.
Not interested.
At this festive season, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than desirable that we make slight provisions for the poor and the destitute. At this moment, sir, many are in want of common necessaries and are suffering greatly.
Well, are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses? Are they still in operation?
They are, but still, I wish I could say they were not.
The treadmill and poor law are in full vigor then?
Both are very busy.
Good. Good! Because I was afraid from what you said at first, something had occurred to stop them in their useful course.
Sir, these organizations scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to these unfortunate people. It is because of this that a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others, a time where want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for, sir?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask what I wish, that is my answer. I don't make merry myself at Christmas. My old partner Marley never did. And I can't afford to make idle people merry. I help to support the establishments I mentioned. They cost enough. Those that are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there, and many would rather die than go there.
Well, if they had rather die, they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, that's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business, not interfere with that of other people's. So I bid you good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Cratchit, gotta step out back for a minute. Keep working. You see to it.
Jingle bells, jingle bells,
open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun.
Scram! Get out of here, you little brat! Don't beg in this office!
Better get these, Dylan.
You'll do nothing of the kind. Those belong to me now. Is that all? Get back to work.
Yes, sir.
Cratchit, who's that?
Your nephew, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit. Merry Christmas, Uncle. God save you.
Oh, humbug.
Christmas a humbug, Uncle. You don't mean that, I'm sure.
With all my heart. Merry Christmas. What reason have you to be merry? What right have you to be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then. What reason have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be remorseful? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Don't be cross, Uncle.
What else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? Merry Christmas. Out upon Merry Christmas. What's it to you but a time for paying bills without money? If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled with his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart.
Uncle.
Nephew, keep your Christmas in your own way. Let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Let me leave it alone then. Much good it has ever done you, or will.
Why, Uncle, it has done me a lot of good. Apart from its sacred celebration, it's brought me a good time. A kind, forgiving, charitable, happy time. The only time in the whole calendar when men and women open their hearts. Hearts that sometimes stay closed the rest of the year. Yes, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Another sound out of you, Cratchit. You'll be celebrating Christmas by losing your situation. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament.
Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow.
No, I won't dine with you.
But why?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
Nay, Uncle, you never came to see me before I was married. Why give that as a reason for not coming now?
Nephew, good afternoon.
Uncle, why can't we be friends? We have never had a quarrel to which I have been party to, and we never will. I have come to see you in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas spirit to the last. So a Merry Christmas.
Good afternoon.
And a Happy New Year.
Bob!
After such a disturbing afternoon, Mr. Scrooge took to his melancholy tavern, and having read all the newspapers, went home to bed. He lived in chambers which had once belonged to his irascible old partner, Jacob Marley, a gloomy suite of rooms, old and dreary, where no one lived except Mr. Scrooge. The other rooms were now being let out as offices. Once within his apartment, he closed and locked the door in the usual fashion, and sat straightway in his favourite chair. The fire was very low indeed, casting eerie shadows on the walls, and he was obliged to sit close to it and brood over it before he could extract any warmth from it. As he leaned forward on his chair, his glance happened to rest upon a bell, a disused bell that hung in the room and communicated for some purposes long forgotten within the highest chamber of the building. It was with great astonishment and a strange dread as he looked up he saw this bell begin to swing, first softly, and then so loudly that every bell joined in and rang also. This must have lasted for a half a minute or so, but to Mr. Scrooge it seemed like a terrifying hour. The bell finally ceased, only to be followed by a clanging noise deep down below, as if some person were dragging heavy chain along the casks in the wine cellar. Then followed a series of strange sounds, as though footsteps mounting a staircase, coming closer and closer towards